Hi all, my name is Vijay Kumar. This is part 1, C Sharp Fundamentals. In this module, I'm going to cover some of the basics of C Sharp. The prerequisites for this course, you should have at least some basic knowledge about C++ or Java, just to understand the variable, statement, functions, loops, etc. Also the basic concept of the object-oriented programming. What we are going to learn this fundamentals of C sharp language. Basically, there are a lot of things related to this type, program structure, statements, operators, etc. If you are familiar with any of the languages, you maybe know that the statements, operators, etc. Be able to begin writing the debugging C sharp programs, how to debug the programs, that is very important. Anybody can write coding once you know the language. But the debugging and analytical skill is very important for any programming language. How we are using this .NET Framework SDK for debugging, Visual Studio IDE, all this we will learning in throughout this course. Be able to write individual C sharp methods. Agenda is of this program. We will be going through some small programs. What is a program structure? How we can use the statements, operators, and using Visual Studio .NET, what all are the things we can achieve from that. Okay, let's flip back to our Visual Studio IDE. Currently, I am using Visual Studio 2019. Here we have a lot of options. In the left side, you can see the recent files, and the right side, you can see 4 options. One is clone a repository, open project or solutions, open local code, create a new project. What do you mean by clone a repository? If you have already your code is in any of the repository like Git, SVN, live repositories, or then that time you can clone it from that repository. Open project or solutions. If you're already having any project or solutions which is not listed here, you can open it from the project or solution folder. It will redirect it to your folder. From there, you can select the SLN file. It will be loaded automatically. Then the third option is open a local folder. If you have a local folder, you can just open that local folder. If you want to edit some codes or something like that, you can do like that. The last one is create a new project. This is the one we are going to take now. Click on create new project. Let's see what are all things coming in the screen. In the screen, you can see that there are some left side, the recent things which I have opened will be there. Normally, when you are using it the first time, these items will not be listed here. And the default, all languages will be there. Since this will be the combination of VB and other languages, we can filter it from all languages to C sharp because we are going to learn only C sharp. Here you can see that there are different type of projects available. See, the thing is that using C sharp, you can develop different types of programs. What do you mean by that? It means that if you want to develop a web application, you can create a web application. If you want to create a Windows application, you can create a Windows application, application programming interfaces, class libraries, etc. There are many types you can create it. So now we are new to this project and we don't know much about any web application or .NET other applications. We are just learning phase. So we are going to take console up. So for that purpose, you can just type console in the search section. Let's type console. Let's see what other console we are getting. We need to take console app .NET framework. There will be 2 console app .NET Core and console app framework. We need to take .NET app console app .NET framework. Click on next. It will ask for a name. You can change the name to console app demo. You can save this in your local directory instead of the default directory. I'm just saving it in training demo. Okay. Now let me create this console application. It may take a little bit of time. Yeah. Now we got the console application. Basically for learning purpose, this is the best one. You can use it. Let's understand the structure of the program. See, if you are familiar with the C++, basically there are header files, stdio.h, stream.h, etc. Like that, all the libraries pertaining to this program, its namespaces will be using in the top. We'll be understanding more about this using in coming sessions. Below that, there is a namespace. And under the namespace, you have a class. Under the class, you have a method. So every C# program will have this structure. If you are creating a Windows application, or if you are creating a web application or API, anything, you will have this structure defined automatically. So all classes will come under namespaces, or the classes are recognized by namespaces. Right? If you have a same name of different classes, but that will have different namespaces. So that is the structure basically it is using. Now, see, what do you mean by a class? Let's take an example saying that human is an example of a class, and it's having its object man or woman or X or Y. So this is the same way you have a class and its objects. Class is a combination of methods, fields, properties, constructors, and maybe delegates also. So these all the things wrap around into a one single point is called class. So you have a class. Class is recognized by namespace. So in this case, we have a class called main, static void main. So in console application, this is the entry point, or you can tell the endpoint. Okay, let's understand this more by writing a Hello World program. All basic programs are Hello World programs. For writing this, or to write into a console, since this is a console application, this will be writing in a console or in a command prompt. So for that purpose, we have a command called console. So console dot write line. Now I'm just doing hello. All the statements are terminated with semicolon. This is same like our normal language. We have a, when you write a language, a sentence completion is by period. Same like that, here we have console application. It is terminated with semicolon. Now, let's run this, then we will see that. It's compiling. It takes a little bit of time to compile it, then it will work. First time compilation is taking a little bit of time. So build started is showing in the status bar. Also in the output you can see that the compilation steps going on. Okay. It came and stopped immediately. Right. One second. I have to disable my Avasta. Let me disable for a while. Okay. So, self-fund. Yeah. Yes. Right. I have disabled, else the command prompt will be blocked by this anti-protection, virus protection. Okay, let it be. So if you want to stop this for a while, or if you want to print this hello world and stay it there for a while, you can use console.readline. Okay, now I'm giving console.readline. Now let's run this. You can use F5 also for running this program. Now, the hello world is printed in the console application. So this is the way the normal program writes. So in order to learn more about it, you can use this console application. Okay, let's flip back to our PowerPoint presentation. This is the way we have written the console application. Okay, there are different types available in C Sharp. One is classes, struct, enum, interfaces, and delegates. Predefined types are int, byte, character, string, etc. Okay. Also, you can create our own types. See, what do you mean is this? Collection types are classes, struct, enum, interfaces, and delegates, and data types. We will normally call this data types int, byte, character, string, and objects. We will be seeing more about that. And also type contains data members such as field, constants, arrays, events, function members such as methods, operators, constructors, destructors, properties, and indexes. Other types are class, struct, enum, interface, and delegates. Let's flip back again to our console application. Let's understand more about this. See, int x equal to 10. So int is a data type, and we are assigning some values to that variable. Now, like that, I can use string str equal to hello. They are assigning values to a string type. So these are predefined types. We can use this predefined type for declaring variables. Some of the statements are: if is a conditional statement. What do you mean by conditional statements? If you have some conditions, now let's understand in a bigger manner. Int x equal to 10, int y equal to 20. Now we need to check that x or y which is bigger, and we need to print accordingly. So how do you give? So the syntax is: if within bracket we need to give the expression x greater than y, then console.writeline, we will cut this one. We will tell that. Let me delete this in. The test value is okay x and Greatest is x and its value is, you can give plus, you give x. Okay, we missed one bracket for closing. Then else, again we'll copy this line, put it here. It's y, its value is 1. Right? Let's run this program again. So greatest value is y and its value is, greatest is y and its value is 20. So you understood that, right? So this is the way we are checking conditions. So conditions, if this is true, this will be executed, else this will be executed. The same way you can give if other conditions also. If y is greater than x. Default is always like that only. Just I am giving that. This is a conditional statement. Again, you can give else condition. So, I'm giving another else condition. This is the conditional statement. Whenever there is a block statement, you can see that block statement will not terminate with the semicolon. It will always have this curly bracket. Okay, so this is a block statement. If is a conditional statement. Like that, we have another conditional statement called switch statement. Int x or int day equal to 4. Now, suppose that we are accepting this value dynamically, but I have just assigned it or hard coded the value here. Now, switch, this is another conditional statement. Day case 1, then I'm just giving console.write line. Okay. Let me delete all other things and you have to give exit. Okay. So let me copy this for easy purpose. Since we have to write everything again and again. This 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. So let me change this to 2. This is to 3. This is 4. This is 5. This is 6. This is 7. Let's change this to Tuesday. Wednesday. Tuesday, Wednesday. Friday. Saturday. Sunday. So we have day 4. It has to print Thursday. Let's run this. This will check the condition and print the value accordingly. See, Thursday is printed out. Right? So this is called conditional statements. If statement and switch statement. Switch statement will have cases and a break. Okay, let's delete all this. Now let's understand an array. Okay, another type array. Int array numbers equal to new. This is a new is used for declaration, or when you have new object or something like that, you have to use new. So array, when you declare, you have to give new. Okay, int new, and you can assign values to this array. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just giving 5 numbers. Right? Now, if I want to print this, how can I print? Each time, instead of giving console.writeLine, I can use a for statement. So, for int I, this is a looping statement. I'm going to tell you a looping statement. I equal to 0. I less than or equal to 4, because this index will be starting from 0 to 4. Now I plus plus. Right now, console.writeLine. Sorry, right, console.writeLine. We need to show the numbers. So what do you do? New numbers of the index we need to specify. So I am specifying I here and terminating. We start the program. See, this will be really 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, since we have know the array value, we are giving for loop like this. Instead of this, we can use for each. This is also another looping statement. Var num in numbers. Here we don't need to specify the ending number. So this will automatically terminate it when the array is over. So I'm just giving this. So I'm just commenting this portion. You see this menu. Or you can use Control K, Control C. So instead of this, I can just give array index. Instead of array index, I can just give num here. Let me run this application. See, this is more easier than using for loop, and this is more faster than this for loop. So we have seen conditional statements and some of the looping statements. There are some more looping statements are there, while loop and do while. Okay. Now we're back to our this thing. So type we have seen. There are value types and reference type. So what do you mean by value type? Value type means it will be copying the value directly to the variable. If it is a reference type, it will refer to the address of the variable or the location of the declaration. Okay, so class interfaces are reference type, struct enums are value type. Okay, now again feedback to our types, unified types. Primitives are int, I, float text, enums. Enums, we will be writing enums in enums type of font. Struct point XYZ, we can give like that. Reference types, object, string, class, interface, string, delegates. These are reference type, these are value types. Okay, so primitives like index, float and all value type. Enum is a value type, struct is a value type, but reference types are root, string, class, interfaces, arrays, and delegates are reference types. Okay, program structure we have already seen. Statements. We'll come back to this is a program structure we are defining. The assembly will be the topmost one, then module will be there, file will be there, then type will be there. Okay, we'll go back. Okay, this is the way class will be declared inside every namespace. See, if I come back to this, we have a class called program. Again, we can create another class. We can give a name XYZ. See, any number of classes can be created inside a namespace. So this class will be identified by this namespace. Right? Come back there. You'll be seeing there are different type of statements available. If, while, do, okay, jump into blocks, other statements are there. Switch statements, we have seen the switch statements, for each statements, checked and unchecked statements, expression statements, mostly. Okay, we have seen looping statements are while, do, for each, jump statements. We have seen that in the switch statement, we are jumping from that statement using break. Continue will continue that. Go to will redirect it to another place. Return and throw are different type of statements. Then exception handling, try, throw. See, exception handling means if this have any runtime errors, that will be cached by a try catch method. How do you give try? Within that, we need to give the block of code. Then what will you do? Inside this, catch and give the exception. If you have any exception, you can throw the exception from here. So try catch is also another exception handling statement. As you see there, statements are terminated with the semicolon. This code is basically C++ code. Okay, block statements. So you have seen that there are a lot of block statements. This is block statement within curly bracket. If you have a block statement, that will not be terminated with the semicolon. How will you give comments in C#? There are two ways of giving comments. Either if it is a single statement, you can give using double slash. If you want to block more than one statement, that time you can use slash backslash star backslash. This is also block of statements can be found or multiple lines. Okay. Statements list. One or more statements in a sequence called statement list. Block statement. Statement list delimited by braces. These are block statements because we are given within a block. Even for each is a block statement. We are given in a braces. Statement variables and constants. Okay, you know that what is a variable and a constant. 20 is a constant because that value is never changes. But int I is a variable. That means I can be reassigned with another value also. But if you put constant, see, I'll show you with an example. Int I equal to 10. Now I can give I equal to 20. This will work perfectly. Now if I print i's value will be 20. This is called variable. The value is changing now. But if I put constant, what will happen? It will throw an error saying that the left hand side of the assignment must be a variable, property or indexer. Now I cannot assign any value to this because this is constant. Okay, that value cannot be changed. It's constant. Statements, variables, and constants. Scope of the variable or constants runs from the point of declaration to the end of the closing block. That means if this value is within this statement, this block, Once if I exit from this block, this value, you cannot use this value at all. That means within the block only its scope will retain. Okay, it's the same way. Variable must be assigned a value before they can be used. It has to be assigned perfectly, explicitly, or automatically, called definite assignments. Automatic assignments, of course, for static fields, class, instance field, and array elements. Basically, all automatic assignments will happen for static field. Static field, you can do the automatic assignment. All right. Now, if statement we have seen if statement with else if, else and all. Switch statement also we have seen that how the switch statement will work. Switch expression, case, then break or result. Okay, this is the way we are doing the while and do while. See, while statement we have while greater than 5. If it is once it is greater than 5, it will be exit from the loop. Do while, the while will be ended after the execution only. Okay. These are 4 statement. This is for each statement which we have already saw there, right? These are the other gem statements: break, continue, go to, return, and throw. Many of them we have seen already. Try catch we have seen, statements exception handling, right? Try and catch. We can give more than one catch in a try block. So let's conclude with our today's session. Basically, our Visual Studio we can use for many purposes like web application development, Windows application development, API development, WCF development, so on. Now, the current Visual Studio 2019 is coming up with a lot of other facilities like you can do mobile application development, AI development, IoT development, etc. etc. It's a vast subject. We have just started our part 1. We have to see more with other sessions also. Thanks for continuing with me for this time. If you have any doubts, you can send a queries to me. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you.